Eagle, proud symbol of our country, keep on flying high up above, and together we will stand and we'll restore the land. Oh, Eagle, keep on flying, Eagle.
Welcome in, and thank you for making us a part of your day. This is Listen to the Eagle. I am Bert Ott Carruth, your host, coming to you live from the Reed's Metal Studio, right alongside the legend Karl Ott down in the Scenic Rivers Region at beautiful Lake Dixie Springs. If you want to be a part of the show tonight, 1-800-251-5891. That's 1-800-251-5891 or pound 444 if you C-Spire, customer inspired like we are. We've got Russ Carruth on the line where we're going to talk a little bear hunting. But before we go to Russ, let's go straight to the phone line and talk to the favorite of all of Listen to the Eagle, Robert Daly. Robert, you got to wait. Dove season is first. I don't even want to hear about bow hunting.
Oh, now, Bert, you know, I love dove hunting too, but I just don't have a place to go anymore. But it is so much fun. I used to love to shoot those birds. It's a lot of fun. I'm not putting dove season down at all, man. I know it's a blast.
Well, dove season is not only fun for adults, but it is a great way. You know, one of our mission statements here at Listen to the Eagle is to introduce a youth to the outdoors. Well, there's nothing better than to take a youth on opening day this Saturday dove hunting. And there are places, if you go to the website of the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, they've got several different public places that you can take a youth dove hunting this Saturday.
If you're looking forward to bow season, start getting your stuff out, looking at your gear. If you hadn't shot your bow, get that thing out, check it out, make sure everything's in good working condition, and get ready. Don't wait till opening weekend and take things for granted and then get out there and have to face disappointment and find out something's not right. And, you know, it's 34 days. So let's get ready. Let's rock and roll because it's coming.
Guys, you heard it from Robert Daly. He knows what he's talking about. It sounds like you were given some life lessons from maybe some mistakes in the past by somebody that knows what he's talking about.
Was it that obvious? Yeah, I'm guilty. I've been there. I've done that before.
Yeah.
You know, took things for granted, and you just cannot do that. You can't take things for granted. Just because something was in good working condition last year when the season closed, you know, it doesn't mean it's going to be in good working condition right now. It pays to check things out, check your equipment. Now, with me, of course, I shoot traditional, so I don't have all the high-tech equipment. I don't have as much stuff to check out, but, you know, I am going to check my stuff. I want to make sure my bowstrings are in good shape. I don't want to get out there in the woods and find out I'm fixing to, you know, snap a bowstring because that has actually happened before, and it's not any fun.
No.
Luckily, at that time, I did have a spare string. But it does pay to check your equipment prior to the season getting here and make sure everything's in good working condition. And you know, by doing that, that'll also kind of help get you fired up for the season because you're touching your stuff, your equipment, you're putting your hands on stuff you hadn't seen since last year, and then it really starts to hit you. Man, it's right around the corner. It's fixing to be here.
Yeah, it's here. You heard it first from Robert Daly. Be a Boy Scout, which means be prepared. Go ahead and start getting prepared. Robert, thank you so much. But, hey, be sure to keep listening because we actually got Barrett Van Cleave coming on, and we're going to talk deer hunting and deer management and also prepping, getting ready for the season that's right around the corner. Robert Daly, and plus, I believe I heard correctly, we're going to get to see you maybe next week in studio.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love to see y'all.
Good deal. See you, Robert. Thank you.
Take care. Y'all have a good night.
Robert Daly, the big bad bow hunter. All right, let's go to Russ Carruth. Russ, thank you so much for being on Listen to the Eagle tonight.
My pleasure, Bert. Thank you. Thank you.
Russ, I shared with everybody in the first segment that we had you on maybe not quite a year ago, but we just had such a positive response from the stories of your bear hunting adventures. And also when you gave out the information that our listeners could actually go and do this. And I thought I'd bring you back on and let's revisit some of those stories. I know you just recently went this past, 4 months ago. Is that about right?
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, we can. You can find out all the information that you want on whitetailinternationalllc.com, and it shows you photos of bears taken in the past, the guides that live up there and maintain the stands and the baiting for us, and there's all kind of good information on there. I'd like to get you up there.
Well, Russ, as interesting as you make it sound, and we can tell stories, I don't know that I'm a big fan of hunting anything that hunts me.
The table is certainly it's a flat table now. There's no one side to it. You got to be on your game, and they're not the only one up there that levels the playing field. You got wolf, you got a lot of wolf, as a matter of fact. You got mountain lions, and of course the bear. You know, I've been in a couple of predicaments myself.
Well, and I want to hear some of these stories, but see, let me make it very clear. Down in the Scenic Rivers region, anything that I hunt here in the state of Mississippi, if I miss, which I don't, but if I did, they run. They don't come back at me. So that just makes me a little nervous.
Well, it would anybody, yeah. And I've been in that situation before where I've got bear climbing up my ladder stand where I'm 10 feet off the ground, but they're coming up the ladder with me and making all kinds of wild noises and threatening and just as menacing as you might think it might be. Mother bears don't tolerate many things around. Many things around that's other than herself. That's how they are.
Well,
and that was my situation that night.
Well, but when there's a bear coming, why can't you shoot it? Do you only have tags for certain type of bears? I mean, if a bear's crawling up trying to get me, he's dead.
Well, that's a last ditch effort to thwart the bear. But if it is a mother bear, that's the time of season that they have their cubs with them. Yeah. And just as sure as you take that mother bear, the cubs are not going to make it either. I would rather take the boar, the big males. And I sent you a picture earlier on your phone. I think you saw that one. Yeah. It was an 8-foot bear, just slightly over 600 pounds. So a really, really good bear. He was Boone and Crockett. So, and we've had quite a few Boone and Crockett's taken in camp.
Well, Russ, hang on. Can you hang on another segment? We're about to go to break, and I want to continue this on the other side.
Absolutely.
If this is interesting to you, and we're going to tell some more stories, don't go anywhere. We got Russ Carruth, bear hunting, stories of bear hunting, and then how you can be a part of this. Y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Listen to the Eagle.
Legendary entertainer Karl Ott brings you his greatest hits. Get them all in this special CD-DVD combo set, including Old Blue,
Many and a many of an early morn.
I Am Mississippi,
I am everything good you have ever dreamed about.
Right Arm of America, and many more. To order, visit listentotheeagle.com or send $20 check or money order to Paul Ott's Greatest Hits, Box 219, Summit, Mississippi 39666.
Welcome back. Listen to the Eagle. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Bert Ott Carruth coming to you live from the Reed's Metal Studio. Paul Ott by phone in the Scenic Rivers region at beautiful Lake Dixie Springs. We want you to be a part of the show. Share your stories. 1-800-251-5891. That's 1-800-251-5891, pound 444 if you are C-Spire. Customer inspired like we are. Been talking with Russ Carruth, a little bear hunting. In case you weren't a part of the last segment and you just tuned us in, Russ has been bear hunting in Canada, and he's going to share some more stories and an opportunity for you to actually schedule your own hunt if you would like to do it. Russ, you were kind of leading us through, and when you get there, you actually said that it's still a dusk type daylight when you're actually hunting. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's just, even at 10 or even at 11 o'clock at night, it's still very, very visible outside. There's not much nighttime at that time of year.
So you mentioned, you mentioned earlier that if someone wants to come, they could go to the site, and I'll let you give that in a minute, and also that it's I believe a $1,700 fee for the trip.
That's correct.
But you've got to get your own travel there. Here's my question. Is there also a cost for don't you have to get a tag? And then also, if you are fortunate enough to harvest a bear, can you bring it back to the state of Mississippi?
Absolutely, you can. I brought 2 back, actually. And there is a tag fee. It's about 190 American dollars. And if you do harvest one, then the guides, they cape out the bear for you. You have an option of leaving it there to get it tanned out or whatever you want to do with it and have it sent by mail. Or you can bring it back with you. Yes, United Airlines and other airlines allow you to bring those things back with the proper documentation. And I think there's a $100 fee for most airplanes to allow you to bring that back onto their plane. So it's not a big to do. It's pretty relatively easy.
Okay, real quick, we've got a minute and 30 seconds. Got a listener out there, young guy, ready, wants to take 5 of my buddies. Tell us where to go, what to do, how do we get this accomplished, and what type of year do we need to start getting our airline tickets and planning on going? Give me the full rundown in a minute.
Yes. You can go to whitetailinternationalllc.com. There's a section for whitetail hunt. There's a section for bear hunt. Very self-explanatory. All numbers and names are there that you need. You need to plan this at least a year in advance. Why? Because the tags sell out fast. As far as airfare is concerned, you need to plan that 6 months in advance to get the best prices.
Okay.
Typical prices to fly into Saskatoon, $500 per person, round trip.
Okay.
As far as a rental car is concerned, anywhere from $800 to $1,500, depending on the vehicle you get. You split that 4, maybe 5 ways, over how many people you got with you.
Real quick, time of year. When am I planning this?
May.
May.
You're gonna. That's when your spring bear hunts are gonna happen. Yep, May. 1st of May, around Mother's Day.
Good deal. Russ Carruth.
Yep.
Thank you so much for being a part of Listen to the Eagle, sharing your story and sharing the opportunity for our listeners to be a part of something that's, I'd say, pretty cool.
Pretty darn cool. Come with me.
I'm ready. I got to plan a year in advance, so we'll work on that maybe tomorrow.
I'll work on you.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, good. Russ. Y'all don't go anywhere. We got Barrett Van Cleave coming up, who I call a professional hunter and fisherman. We're going to talk a little deer management. We're going to talk about a little deer hunting.
Paul Ott's The Day of the Lord CD-DVD combo set is our free gift to you and your family. The Day of the Lord includes songs like I Am That I Am, Don't Cry for Me, and They Could Not Stop His Love, as well as special sermons by Tom Lester, Dr. Larry LeBlanc, and others. Paul's special holy visits and the printed Don't Cry for Me poster are also included. Get yours by calling 1-800-684-9486 or by letter to New Day of the Lord Ministries Foundation, Box 219, Summit, Mississippi 39666.
Welcome in to Listen to the Eagle, your live call-in radio show, hunting, fishing, God, family, and country, or anything Paul Ott wants to talk about. Bert Ott Carruth, your host, coming to you live from the Reed's Metal Studio. Paul Ott's down in the beautiful Scenic Rivers Region on Lake Dixie Springs. Paul Ott, we're going to go straight from bear hunting and talk a little deer hunting because it's right around the corner. We got Barrett Van Cleave. Barrett, welcome again to Listen to the Eagle.
I'm glad to be on here, Mr. Bert. How you doing?
Man, I am great. Hadn't seen you in a while, hadn't talked to you in a while. We had you on a little over a year ago when we had our sister show over in the great state of Alabama, and, man, you just did a wonderful job, and I think it's time now we share it with the state of Mississippi.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's here. It's about always, you know, that last beach trip, I call it. If you go, you know, to the beach, you go saltwater fishing late July. It's like when you get home from that, you just overnight switch gears and you want to think that it's getting a little bit cooler in your mind. In reality, it's not. We've had a real interesting summer with all this rain.
Right.
It's been a great summer for the deer as far as you know, plenty of rainfall. They hadn't had to deal with any kind of drought. Natural vegetation is just wide open, and I've really seen it on cameras. It looks like the summer treated a lot of deer really well this year.
Yeah, Barrett, in talking to you and hearing stories between you and your dad, something I'd like for you to share, if you don't mind. Y'all did something very unique that I had never really heard of. There may be some other people that have done this, or you may have got it from somebody, but y'all started managing your land and you actually started studying and doing your homework on your inventory of deer and the population, and actually were giving these bucks names, and as you harvest them, you'd say, such and such went down. Can you kind of give us some background on that, how that started, and maybe even share, because y'all been very, very successful. It's been amazing. I've seen the pictures. Maybe if somebody else has that particular same setup, that they could have the success that you've had.
Right. It's something I think is catching on pretty significant in our area, and I don't know if it's from a exposure from the outdoor industry and the television department or what it is, but it's just really getting cameras and all. It gives you another side of hunting that maybe wasn't around 10 years ago, and it lets you get history with some of these deer. If you're set up on a management plan and you let a deer get to a mature age, you're seeing that deer for a lot of years, and so it's not necessarily something that just you name every deer out there, but it's a way to help me keep track of who's who. If he's got some characteristic that's easy to recognize, it lets you really engage with the deer over 3 or 4 years. You might have 5 encounters with a buck, each season. You might have an encounter with him, and then you don't kill him for several years after that, and it just, to me, it adds a little something extra to it.
Well, you got to have a lot of patience.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not something that happens overnight. To me, I had to do a lot of killing before I could get to that point.
Right.
And I'm blessed to have a real nice piece of property that's got some good genetics on it. That this was really easy for us to do. And the genetics were there already. I mean, we do a lot for the deer, but we had a lot to start with.
Yeah, but you work really hard at this, and I want to talk about that to kind of help educate our listeners as well as preparing the land like you did. But I want to share something. You correct me where I'm wrong, because I think this is one of the coolest things I've ever heard of. You had studied the traits and the characteristics of these deer all the way to the point that you actually, I say like Babe Ruth did when he called out his shot of a home run. You actually put it out there, said, I'm going to kill this deer at this spot almost at this time. And you did.
Yeah, yes, sir. There's a lot of. It doesn't always work that way, but what a lot of people I think mess up on is they overhunt an area, and your scent in that area or you putting pressure on that area might be directly affecting that. So if you've got him somewhat patterned, you wait till the right day. And me and my buddy Slade Priest both kind of do this, and we don't say we're going in there to hunt. We're going in there to kill.
Yeah.
And when we've got it figured out, and we're watching these cameras and slipping in there at the right time to take the camera, or in some case we got cell phone cameras if you've got some good service in a spot, and you just go in there and pretty much cut him off, find out where he's going, get where you need to be, and I might not make 10 hunts in bow season in the month of October. But last year in 10 hunts, I killed my legal limit of does, and I was fortunate to kill two really mature bucks.
Right.
So I hunt every day in a way through those cameras, and that's an aspect of it that I think at some point I'll get to where I probably don't even shoot a deer anymore, other than getting them on camera. I think that's where I'll end up being in probably 15 years from now, taking kids and family members and all. But I like running those cameras just as much as I like actually drawing the bow back and turning an arrow loose at one.
Technology every year just gets crazier and crazier and cooler. What's your thoughts? Do you think drones are going to come into play? And is the department going to have to do something about drones? Because they've got these things now where they could sit above a deer stand and just hover and let the hunter see for miles and miles. Yeah,
I haven't. We've seen some of this drone stuff with real estate. It gives us a real good opportunity to show a property's full potential. I for one, I like the cameras in deer hunting. The drone, I could potentially see a problem because it almost gives you instantaneous.
Yeah.
You know what's in that field over there, and I just think maybe it might get abused at some point by some people that have got some bad intentions for it.
Well, I agree. I think
that's about the only thought I've got about it. I mean, I'm interested to see as well what's going to happen with it.
Yeah. Barrett Van Cleave from the Scenic Rivers Region. Listen to the Eagles professional hunter and fisherman. Barrett, thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bert. Thanks for having me.
We'll have you on again, especially as we get a little bit closer, maybe in another 2 weeks. We'll be right back with more Listen to the Eagle.
Legendary entertainer Paul Ott brings you his greatest hits. Get them all in this special CD-DVD combo set, including Old Blue,
Many and a many of an early morn.
I Am Mississippi,
I am everything good you have ever dreamed about.
Right Arm of America, and many more. To order, visit listentotheeagle.com or send $20 check or money order to Paul Ott's Greatest Hits, Box 219, Summit, Mississippi 39666.
Welcome back, y'all. It is the last segment of the night for Listen to the Eagle. Thank you so much for making us a part of your evening. All right, folks, it's time to have some fun. It's going down memory lane in the Scenic Rivers region where Karl Ott from the Karl Ott and I grew up together, and each week we share a memory and tell some stories. All right, Karl, it's your turn. Let's do it.
Let me see if I can put this in. As we get older, we think back, obviously the memories and stuff, and this has to do with just good old family and friends, and I think what America needs, and everybody's welcome. And there was certain things that was a big tradition in our family, which was spread out, with y'all and all of our uncles and aunts and cousins and friends, not people that weren't even the family. They were my dad loved to do one thing. He loved to do a lot of things, but one thing in particular, Bert.
Woo.
He was very real particular on how he did it.
I know where you're going with this. Carl Jr.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what. And, buddy, let me tell you, if you didn't do it right, he'd fire you. You wouldn't do it again. So you had to, there was a certain way to get everything laid out. And by doing that, he always had, your dad would be there, and Uncle Benny would be there, Mr. Richard Kent would be there. Mr. Pete Norris just goes on and on. So if you want to finish kind of what I'm talking about, how it was just a big event all the time.
So now you've just triggered. I actually got some chills thinking about it. I cannot tell you as far back as I can remember, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to you and I were in high school, how excited I would get when Paul Ott, my dad, would say, "Hey, we're going down to Carl Jr.'s for a catfish cookout." I mean, Uncle Carl, guys, you got to understand. I know everybody can go eat some catfish at the local catfish house, and there's some good ones. And I know you can cook catfish. You're probably sitting there going, "I cook catfish better than anybody in the world." No, you don't. There ain't but one man that's going to go down in the history of cooking the best catfish, and that's Karl Ott Jr. Carl, it tasted like, it just exploded in your mouth, and it was like potato chips. It was unbelievable.
It was, and it was a process that he loved to do. Of course, he had it figured out. I'm sure there's better catfish people that can fry catfish out there.
No, there's not.
But how many, we would get in trouble by not doing the certain things he wanted done right.
Yeah,
and,
let me tell a story. So Carl has said it several times how particular Uncle Carl was. If you're going to do it right, so it'll turn out the way it's supposed to turn out. So my brother Paul Ott Carruth Jr. loved it so much that Paul became friends with a guy by the name of Nick of the famous Jim and Nick's, who has franchises all over the Southeast. Jim and Nick's barbecue and good food. So Paul brought some of Uncle Carl's catfish to Nick. He fell in love with it and says, "We've got to have this on the menu. We'll sell out. We won't be able to keep it." So Paul went to Uncle Carl and said, "This is what they want to do." First thing Uncle Carl said, "Are they going to do it right? Are they going to do it exactly like I tell them to do it?" And Paul said, "Well, I'm sure they will, Uncle Carl, because they want it to taste like that." And I'll never forget, he got He went and drove over there, got your dad in the car, drove him over, met with Nick and all his head chefs, and showed them exactly how to do it. And I'll never forget, the first night we went to eat it, it came out, and it was 2 halves. Because Uncle Carl, you had to cut it in little bitty pieces, you know, about potato chip size. They had it in halves, and Paul tasted it, and he called Uncle Carl, and he said, it just doesn't taste like yours. And Uncle Carl said, because they ain't doing it like I told them how to do it.
Well, you know, the moral of that story is really, you know, was the fun times you have as family and friends get together.
And we're all out there playing backyard football or kick the can or chase. I mean, it's just on. And you're right. It's what our kids need to be doing today.
Yep. It was good fun. And by the way, if you recall, and you were at church on Sunday morning.
Yes, oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you ate Uncle Carl's catfish,
or not.
Hey, because that's the other thing. About all 10 of us would spend the night with you, and Uncle Carl said, y'all can stay, but your little hind ends are gonna go to church in the morning.
Yeah, I don't have any clothes. It don't matter. We got something here you can wear.
He would always say, Jesus don't care what you look like. You'll be all right. All right.
That's
Love
right.
you, Karl Ott.
Love y'all.
See everybody next week. Thanks for being a part of Listen to the Eagle.